You're listening to the Beans and Dice podcast, a podcast about how we game.
Can I cut it short? I can. You give me permission to cut it short?
Hey, everybody. Why am I not hearing anything? Oh, there we go.
Because I turned you off.
There we go.
I control the volume here. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Beans and Dice podcast. I'm Carlos.
I'm Rob.
I'm William. And we're a podcast about
How we game.
And that's what we're in the middle of right now.
Yeah, another game, another podcast interrupted, or a game interrupted by a podcast. Yeah.
Another game interrupted by a podcast. We're
Yeah.
smack in the middle, not towards the end,
Yeah.
of a game of After the Empire. 3 players this time. Well, actually, I think we did 2 players.
Yeah, last time.
We played last week right after we finished the show. And I think it was like, 1 in the
A little
morning?
after 1 a.m., yeah, Eastern time, yeah.
Before we finished that up.
Yeah, it was a late one.
So now we're getting our second game in. But just to introduce ourselves, we're, for those of you that maybe haven't watched before, we're a podcast about board games, card games, miniatures games. We say it's how we game because it's just us talking about the games that we're playing, games we're buying, things we're into. But more importantly, taking your phone calls on what's going on in your world. What are you into? What are you playing? What are you buying? Because we want to have those conversations with you to see, is there something we're missing? Maybe we should try, or maybe share something we like that maybe impressed you and you can tell us about it.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and open the phone lines. The phone number is...
That big old phone line.
Yeah, phone number 813-618-7099 is the phone number. Hit these settings.
And we'll just do a little chatting. As usual, we've got a couple topics that if we don't get calls right away, we've got a few things we'll just talk and banter about, some stuff that we've been up to, some games we've played, some new acquisitions. Hopefully you guys will call in. Talk about whatever you want, either what you've been playing, news, things that you've heard about. We have some knowledge on some things. We try to kind of keep ourselves up to speed. We're not the #1 news channel out there for board games, but we know some stuff that's going on. But we're good for just chatting about whatever. So call in, and we'd prefer to talk to you. But if not, we'll talk about some things we've got.
Talk amongst ourselves if we have to.
Yeah. Chat amongst yourselves. Yeah.
You know what I didn't do?
What's that?
I didn't plug us on the Facebooks to let people know that we're doing anything tonight.
Ah,
So maybe I'll do a quick one of those.
sure.
We'll share this on the Facebooks to see if anybody else wants to join us. But again, phone number is like the key way. Like that's like the one way we want to chats with you.
Interact. Yeah.
To interact with you is through the Facebooks. Is our Facebooks is the groups, but this phone is our favorite part.
Yeah.
Is the conversation.
Yeah. We're doing something a little different here. We decided that nobody that we'd ever seen has done a live call-in show, and that's got its pluses and its minuses. We've run into a few speed bumps along the way. We've had our fair share of prank callers or whatever since we are live. We don't have anybody hired yet. We're not that high roller yet to hire somebody to screen the phone calls or whatever. So we're just taking them one by one as they come in. So again, when you're calling in, kind of keep that in mind. But we definitely, that's the whole idea here, is we want to interact with people calling in, find out what you've been up to, and find out what we may be missing. Let us know about things. And we've got callers every week.
Did you see that?
Some of our regulars who call in.
Airing live in Sweden already.
Oh wow, yeah, that's sweet.
Sweet from
Look at
Sweden.
The message. Look at the messages.
From
that's
IM?
why I got the phone open.
Oh, I don't
here.
have it. What does it say?
We got Edmund.
Edmund.
I think he had commented recently on the show.
Okay.
Out of Sweden.
Cool.
Hello, just wanted to message to you guys that when you are airing live here in Sweden, it is 3 o'clock in the night.
Wow.
And I remember we asked him to call in, and he said the time zone,
Yeah,
maybe
doesn't,
not.
Doesn't quite mesh up. You can't be making phone calls at 3 a.m., 3 in the morning. Yeah.
But Edmund, we thank you. Sounds like you guys are still awake out there, hopefully playing games late into the evening.
Yeah.
But thanks for
Hit us up on the
Jumping
chat.
in.
If nothing else, you have to chat. Tell us what you've been playing, what you're looking forward
international rates phone calls.
to. Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
that's not gonna work.
Doesn't make much sense, but let us on through the chat. That's a nice free way to interact with us. So you can always jump on the chat boards there, and like I say, just same stuff we talk about. Just let us know what you've been up to. That's awesome. We can spark some conversation off of that. So.
All right, Robert, while I'm posting on the
Facebooks,
Facebooks, why don't you talk about things that you've done recently, gaming that you've done, played, bought, etc.
Well, this last Saturday, we had our big monthly meetup here in Tampa. This month, we met at Armada Games in, I guess you call it downtown Tampa. It's not quite downtown.
It's
Not
the
downtown.
university
It's
area, USF area.
USF, near USF, okay. But that's still
Temple Terrace.
Temple Terrace. It's Tampa city limits, I think. But
Yeah.
in any case, so we were over there. We got, I think it was exactly 20 people there at one point from our game group. And so it was a nice turnout again. We're getting about 18 to 22 per game day, but we do it the second Saturday of every month. We're trying to move it around to different places. And it was funny, Michael Fortino, the owner, when I was on the way out, I was talking to him and I said, yeah, we're trying to rotate around. He's like, you don't need to do that. You can just keep coming back here. I said, well, yeah, that's an idea, but no, we want to share the love a little bit. We want to give everybody some equal attention and location wise too. I mentioned to him that Armada tends to be your go-to because it's about 15 minutes from your place. We've got your turn, which is about 15 minutes from my place over on my side of town. But we're blessed here, I guess, in the area that we have 3 or 4 really good game shops to be able to choose from. But anyway, we did our monthly second Saturday game day, we call it. And so the second Saturday of every month we meet up. And we had, I think, when we started out, it was 18 people there. We split into 4 games. I know, Will, you played Shogun?
Yeah, I went ahead and taught a game of Shogun.
He taught a couple of new people. You had a couple of people who had played before. I jumped right into a game of Beyond the Sun. It was the first time I had played that. That was the one game I was looking forward to playing. Somebody mentioned that they had a friend who recently acquired that, and they were bringing the friend along. And I said, well, save me a seat for that one, because that's one game I've been wanting to play for a little while. We had 2 other games going. Cyclades.
No, it was Kemet.
Or Kemet. Oh, I'm sorry.
The new edition.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm sorry, it wasn't Cyclades. It was the pre Cyclades, which was Kemet, the new version that just came out.
Did that one deliver? The new one?
I didn't play it.
It looked
nice.
It looked very nice, but there were some struggles.
Yeah, I think Lonnie was playing and was kind of trying to teach, although he admitted it had been a couple of years since he had played. And then the new version has some streamlining and changing of the rules, some tweaking, and he hadn't read the rules yet. So they were learning the rules as they were going, which we all know how that goes as gamers. It's ideal to try to learn a game and to be ready with it ahead of time. But sometimes you do what you got to do. If you got a game that everybody wants to play, you just put it on the table and play. So they found out near the end that they had made a mistake in the scoring. I guess when you max out a pyramid, you're supposed to get a victory point for that, and they weren't doing that. And the game is played, I believe it's the first one to 9 victory points, and some of the victory points can come and go. You can gain points, and then if you lose areas or pyramids or whatever, you lose points. So the game went about an hour longer than they were expecting.
Oh, wow.
Because they didn't add those points for the pyramids as they were completing their pyramids. And so I think they felt near the end that they were doing something wrong. And so they started flipping through the rule book and figured out that that's what they had done wrong. But they said they enjoyed it, so maybe one of them will call in if they're listening tonight and kind of tell us how that went. And then the other big game that was going on is there was a 5-player game of not Beyond Mars, of Terraforming Mars that was prearranged, and they jumped right into that. And they knocked that out in, I believe it was 5 generations. They played the whole game in 5 generations.
What?
Yeah, I know the average. I told them the average is supposedly 11 to 12 generations. I don't think I've ever finished it in less than maybe 10. But they were saying, yeah, with 5 players, they were just blasting through it. And with 5 players, I don't know if I've ever played with 5.
They finished that before Kemet was over.
Yeah, they finished that, and it was under 3 hours for sure. So that was those were the 5 games that we kicked off. We played obviously lots more games.
What about Will?
That.
We'll jump in.
Yeah.
We'll let him continue. What about you? Anything you played?
I really just played Shogun.
We'll go round robin a
Shogun.
little bit.
I played
tell us how Shogun went.
I taught that game. I got my butt handed to me on that one.
Oh, did you?
But I
Not
didn't
so-
care. I
not
didn't
so
care.
good? Yeah.
It's one of the games where, like, if I lose, I don't care.
Yeah.
I just want to teach some people to play it. I think Zeno won that game by a lot.
Brian Zeno, yeah.
He took a commanding lead on that game. I took a solid third on that, on a 5-player game. So 5-player max game.
And I know Brian Zeno's son Kai played. Had he played before? Or was that his first time?
They each played a half a game.
Oh,
And then
okay.
we had to close up when we were at another game day. So this was
Okay.
a full game of that. And then I pretty much, took a little break, sat around, and then I think what was in the game? Oh, I tried playing Relic.
Oh, okay.
The
Yeah.
Warhammer version of Talisman.
Yeah, you and Brian
okay.
Zeno started that. Y'all didn't finish that one?
No, we didn't finish that. They had to leave, and that's actually a really fun game as well.
Yeah, it looked like y'all were having a good time. I saw you laughing and cutting up a little
I
bit.
was laughing because they let me pick the character last, and they each pick a character, and you know how Xenosun is. Kai, he's like, oh, this is the best character in the game, and he just kept dying.
Oh yeah, getting smacked
But
around.
I mean, if it's Talisman, it's a very random game to begin with.
Yeah, and it was just pretty much mitigating that. That's really what I realized. If you can mitigate the randomness, you can keep your character
level
alive.
up.
I leveled up like at least to level 6.
Okay.
Tell me about the flavor. So how was the experience? If you played Talisman, which I have, I think you have.
I don't remember.
You don't remember
It was
it.
a long
Okay.
time ago, but this is Warhammer 40K.
How did it feel? Did it feel like 40K? Did the story give you 40K feels?
The text, the side, the flavor text. Obviously, if you Warhammer 40K, the board, Warhammer 40K. All the characters, all the monsters, all the equipment. It was thematically rich and all that stuff.
That's good.
So I mean, it's and it had good minis. Warhammer.
Yeah, I picked in a few times. I didn't. I couldn't quite get a grasp on what was going on, but I was.
It has that roll to move mechanic.
Yeah.
That's the worst of the whole thing. But
Yeah.
other than that, it's you still make your commanding decisions on what you want to do, which way you want to go. It's not even cooperative at all. The only points that was cooperative is when you go to fight a big monster. I said, I'm going to drag you and you're going to fight this with me. And you just share the rewards.
Was that the first game you played that night?
No,
The
that was,
last game.
That was the last game.
The
of that
last
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, and then I watched Rob and a few others play brass.
Yeah, we got half a game of brass. We thought we'd get that done in less than maybe 2-ish hours, and
I said nope.
as is typical with brass, when 2 hours in, we just hit the halfway point, and the shop was about 20 minutes from closing, so we hadn't just scored the first half and then ended it there. But it reminded me how much I like that game and how much I can't wait to play a full game of it again. So I immediately the next day wanted to play again. So we'll have to set up. I know we've been talking about setting up a game of brass.
Well,
so-
I mean, I don't know about you, but Father's Day's coming up this Sunday. I'm going to be hosting a game of Scythe
Cool.
as one of the games I want to play.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
But we got a phone call.
Got a phone caller.
No, did we miss that? I hope not.
Oh, well, we'll keep looking. And it was
Call back, caller.
It was Brass Birmingham that
If we missed you,
played.
please call back.
Just to verify with everybody, so Brass Birmingham is the one we talked a little bit about Lancashire, but Birmingham is the one we played, which is from what I understand, the Meteor. I've never played Lancashire, but I understand Lancashire is kind of a more streamlined, little lighter version of Birmingham. But no, if I'm going to play that, I'm in for the full thing. So
Yeah, so I'm hoping to play a second game that night.
Okay.
And I mean, it could be Brass, it could be Terraforming Mars, but if Sunday is a day that y'all want to try something, I'd like to get at least a game of Scythe in and a game of either Brass or Terraforming Mars.
I'll check my
I'm up
calendar.
for either or.
Yeah, what time do you think it's starting?
Don't know yet. 5, 6.
Okay, something like that. There's a caller.
Dinner time. There we go.
Try again.
Beans and Dice Podcast. State your name, where you're calling from.
Hey, this is Francis and Anthony. We're calling from Greensboro, New Jersey.
No way. Rob, this is Ant Lab Games.
Ant Lab Games. I know. I know the names. Yes, for sure. How are you?
Hey, how you guys doing? We it was funny. We're just sitting here. We're sitting down, getting ready to play Merchant's Cove. We're doing a couple of prep rounds,
New one. Yeah.
and we were like, it's Thursday night, and that Beans and Dice podcast is on. So we thought we'd call in to say hi to you guys.
Very cool. Very cool. That's awesome.
I like that.
So it sounds like you're playing Merchant's Cove. Is that what you said?
Yeah, we just set it up. We haven't played it yet. This is our first run. We're getting ready to film our gameplay video.
Yeah.
Today.
Very cool.
So we want to get the rules down, and we have all the different expansions. So we're not sure. We're using like the base ones right now. The base, I guess you call them like characters because it's super asymmetrical.
Okay.
They gave it so like there's literally 4 that come in the box, and then there's like 3 more
Yeah.
in expansions, and they all play completely different. So
Crazy.
we got to figure out which ones we want to do for the video.
Very cool.
Well, I have a question about that for y'all, but I'll ask what topics or questions do you have for us?
Were you guys just talking about Relic, by the way?
I was actually. I played that last Saturday.
Okay, yeah, because I kind of came in on the tail end of that conversation. I heard Talisman, and then I heard Warhammer, and I said, they've got to be talking about Relic.
That's the
Yes.
one. Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a very fun game, especially when you're doing really well and watching all your other enemies suffer. I like that.
What do you think of
Did find it
Relic?
a little long and steep? And I found that it it kind of just drags on. Like just when you get towards the end, it just seemed like it was impossible to end.
It does seem that way, but I also see that you make that decision to make it last longer than you need to. I was pretty much
but it's like
ready to jump to the next tier, and then the guy who owned the game had to leave. So I was like, okay, well,
Anthony, have you played Talisman?
I have, yeah.
I think it's the same issue. Like, to me, I feel like the Talisman issue, which I haven't played Relic yet, but it sounds like it's the same issue. That whole series of games, it just outstays its welcome. It becomes just a roll and move. I can't get the number I need to finish this.
That's exactly what I mean by it, right? Because you end up just going around in this perpetual circle because you can't roll the right number, right? And that's what gets me. Like, I think like the game itself had some really cool, like, leveling up. It had gear, skills, like all that stuff. It was good quality. It was Warhammer. But after like almost 2 hours, and I'm just like, I want to just beat the boss at this point. And it's like, I just can't get in that space.
I just found that it was when you think you're strong enough, just jump in. And I was at that point, but they had to pack up the game and then leave. So, but it was enough for me. It was enough for me to try it again. Maybe a full game. I'm not totally sure. Because if it's more than 2 hours, I want to play something else.
Yeah,
right.
It's a long game. Yeah, I don't think I ever introduced that one to you.
No, I don't think so.
And for good reason.
Big fan. Yeah.
Well, Anthony Francis, let me ask, because you're talking about Merchant's Cove, and I heard you talk about it in the perspective of a content creator perspective, right? So you get it to the table. Yeah. What's your process? Like, how much pre-work did you put into tonight's game night? Rules reading. What prep work did you do to get ready to it's a Thursday night. We're all grown ups. We have jobs in the morning, right? Like, how did you prep for tonight?
So our process is basically, and this has been honed over many years, we learn very differently. So we both have kind of a different process before we even come to the table to play for the first time. Like, this is going to be kind of practice, for us. But before we got to this point, I read the rule book cover to cover. And I read as I started to read like the Oracle, because I think that's who I'm going to play later on. But for this point, like, we just kind of I read like cover to cover. Anthony is more like watches all the videos that are out, kind of, because he's more like, I think, like visual, like to see it sort of, and he likes to set up the game. Is actually like, you'll see him setting up the game a lot, like in our previews and stuff, because that's how he like learns best.
Yeah, I can't just sit, like, I'll sit and skim the book, and then I'll actually do a setup by myself. I'll just set the game up just so I understand what the components are, because it's easier to kind of point to the parts of the rule book that apply to which components, and it makes a lot more sense when you do it that way.
But it's funny, because what'll happen is when we do get to the table like this, like, I have this, like, I can see it in my mind. Like, when I read stuff, I can see it. So, like, we'll get to a rule, and I'm like, no, you can't do that. And he's like, yes, you can. And I'm like, no, I know. I read it in the book. It's on the lower left-hand page of some page.
We have someone like that here.
We can kind of check each other that way, and it's part of it makes it actually really nice.
Well, it's awesome that you have that duality, that both sides there, because you can learn it that way.
Together you'll get it right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what we hope, but we still get it wrong.
We do.
Yeah, it happens. Yeah.
It's I would say probably a couple hours in already, just reading the rules before even we get the box. Yeah. Now, in this case, this game is like full of cardboard. Like, there's like 3 layers of components in this box.
Wow.
And you have to build everything.
And you have to build everything.
But it's really unique in that, like, all the pieces kind of like fold up in such a way that they like lock together to create this like 3-dimensional boat and a 3-dimensional shop stand, cool. And it's got like a miniature potion explosion game.
Rob's showing the pictures from Board Game Geek. These boats remind me of Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea.
Exactly. Yep.
Kind of like constructions like that.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. It really is. It's
so far
it's very creative, and my hope, and based on what I've read so far. And I'm not gonna make a decision on whether or not I like the game.
Yeah.
Just coming out, and then we'll tell you this: when it comes to asymmetrical games, right? We've played 2 so far.
Yeah.
The first one being Vast, and the second one being Root.
Okay. Yep.
We absolutely hate both of those games. Like,
Wow.
Really?
Tell me how you really feel.
Well,
Yeah,
and we'll tell you why. Because I think because first of all, my expectations for those games were so high because I love the idea of asymmetry. But with 2 players, when you build a game that limits who you can play based on your player count, that's very restrictive.
Yeah.
We only have 2 players usually, and sometimes we'll have a bigger group. But for the most part, it's just the 2 of us. So when you talk about replayability, in a gameplay experience, that versus what we're hoping with something like this that comes with, any of these characters you can play with any other character, with any play count, even down to 1. We have high hopes to be able to enjoy an asymmetrical experience the way we wanted to.
I don't think there's going to be as much player interaction in
Probably
this
not.
one,
Yeah,
because that's I guess that's where the right. That's where
what people love
where
about
Bat shines and where Root shines is that there's such interaction between players. Like you're actually going after each other.
Right.
The whole game. Where in this game you're not. You're basically running your own shop independently, and you're kind of influencing certain things on the board, but not to a degree where it's going to really crush the other player.
You're competing merchants.
Yeah,
Sure.
that hits more of our sweet spot than chasing each other around the board and dragon trying to kill the knight or the goblin trying to.
I was the cave actually.
You were the cave.
We did
You were the
4
cave.
player. I was the cave. I imploded on all of you guys.
You did.
Yes, I guess I never thought about it much, but you are right. A lot of those games are designed for like 4 players, and you don't really get the full experience unless you have somebody playing each of those different aspects. So trying to play that 2-player,
I mean, Root at the end of the day is a coin game. It's a war game, and it's not going to shine at 2 players. It's got to be 4.
Exactly, and we say we hate it, and we hate it because of that reason. Because we can't.
Yeah, my comments are blowing up with your comment of that.
Yeah, everybody's chiming in now. Of course, on the board.
How dare you?
Because so many people love those games.
I know.
Because I'm just being honest, right? Like I'm not going to say I love the game. I don't want, like, if somebody said, "Hey, we're going to play this tonight," I'd be like, "I'll pass." Like I'll skip game night.
There you go.
Right? Just because it's not. I don't think I'll enjoy it. And
Thank you.
if maybe the art was a little more appealing to me,
See, that's
it
the
might win
thing.
me over
For
too.
you, it kind of hit the trifecta of like,
Of things I don't like.
want to look at it. I don't
Mm.
wanna play. That being said, I did like. I enjoyed Fort though.
4 was good.
Okay,
Yeah,
I haven't
really
played 4
cool.
yet. Yeah.
Which is it's the same
company. Right?
It's
Same
still
company.
Leader Games,
Right.
but it's a card game. More than I guess more of like a
It's a tableau builder
tableau
card
builder.
game.
It is a little take thatty. It's intended to be, but it's more fun in terms of like you're just kind of going at like trying to attack each other's.
Yeah, like kids
more-
kids on a playground
Yeah.
attacking each other. And
That's
there's
not
same
nice.
art, which again I don't love, but
From an asymmetrical.
I was
player
cool with that one.
too.
The game was more fun. I did enjoy that.
Yeah, that's one I want to get to the table. That one looks like a lot of fun. I mean, the fact that you guys called in just blows my mind to begin with.
Yeah.
I know I've shared it before, Robert. I've been part of the mentoring program. I've been watching in the Zoom calls and the replays where they're providing these kind of conversations. The conversation you heard here about how they prep for gameplay,
Right.
they were providing to like 36 of us or something
Yeah.
worldwide,
Very cool.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Out of the kindness of their heart. Like I didn't pay a dime for that.
Really.
I mean, that's legit community right there.
Yeah. Giving back a little. Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
So-
thank you. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
What's
Like, it was
going on
great.
on your channel? Because it's Geek Mavericks now, right? And
Well,
Oh yes.
there's a long story to all that.
Yeah, so we I think there was some confusion. We never changed the name of our channel to Geek Mavericks. We kind of just started doing something else on the side, which we've always wanted to
which
do.
was
and
the
that's kind of
podcast
talk about,
that I listened to.
Yeah, and talk about some things that are like not board game related, but are still kind of within like I don't
Books,
know,
TV
geek culture,
shows,
but, books,
all those
movies,
game
TV, there's
geek
other stuff we geek out
adjacent.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've been doing that. We're on a pretty good schedule doing it once a week, but I think we're on sort of a every other week now.
And now that we're pushing a lot into the YouTube channel,
Yeah.
it really eats into our time, right?
Yeah,
It's just-
Sure.
And we haven't been watching as much TV either because
Yeah, exactly,
that's
right.
really where we get all of our content for the Mavericks podcast.
We have some good stuff to talk about this week. So I'll do another episode.
We probably should do another, yeah.
But what we did do recently is, over the past couple of months, since we've sort of been on a break, we've been thinking about the kind of our way forward and all of that. And if you've been watching recently, like we've been kind of updating our delivery styles and trying to bring something a little more fresh. We've been doing this now for like 6 years.
Wow.
We've been doing it for a little longer than that. And so, we're just trying to settle in a little bit, I guess, lean into some of our strengths. And again, we talked about in the mentor program, our why we're doing this. And so we incorporated AntLab Games. So AntLab Games is our company. And then we thought about the channel name, and we recently, as recently as yesterday, actually last night, decided to change just the channel name to How It Plays. Because that's really what we're doing. And that's what we've always done. Like, that's always been our kind of meat and potatoes. It's never instructional necessarily. We're like, don't come to us for tutorial because we might get something wrong, But more importantly, we want to show people how it feels. Like, how does this game feel
experience,
to play? We are not scripted. We're not trying to sell you on anything. We're just trying to show you what the experience is like. Come to our table, sit down as if you're kind of, passing by and watching us play this thing. Yep. So we did update that. But
and I came up with that. I literally came up with that thought.
Were you mowing the lawn?
Yesterday afternoon. No, I forget what I was doing. I go upstairs.
He's like, I need to see you.
Yeah, I think I was actually working.
You were.
I work in the basement.
I work upstairs.
I literally have my office in the basement because I work from home. So I literally walked upstairs. I'm like, hey, I have an idea I want to run by you. And I just said, hey, what if we change the channel name? I said, AntLab is kind of like we kind of walked away from it at least a few months ago.
Yeah.
We were like, all right, it's time for a change, and it just made sense that I didn't like the idea of us saying, you know what, we're done with AntLab and now we're going to come right back to AntLab, because I don't like it. Just feels disingenuous to me. I don't know. It just feels weird.
Yeah, so, also because we are changing.
Yeah. So I'm like, you know what? Let me think about, should we just change the name of it, and actually, because this is kind of like a new era for us, I guess. I want to call it that.
No, you've evolved. There's been evolution.
Yeah. Exactly. So it's like, why don't we just call it How It Plays? And let's see if anybody even has that channel name.
Yeah.
Nobody does.
Yeah. Surprise. Yeah. Score.
Yeah.
I mean, and it was basically our tagline at the end of every playthrough we've ever done. And it always says, at the beginning of every playthrough, it's like, hey, join us at the table and we'll show you how it plays. That's just our line over and over again.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's got to mirror a little bit about how we started when we Carlos and I were we were hanging out after a game day, and it's what we got our little tagline. How we play. It's all about. We said, well, hey, we have we have these conversations every night. After the big game nights over, 10 of us may go out and just hang out in the parking lot and talk about new games we want to try. Things we've heard about.
Yeah.
We'd sit sometimes for hours out in front of our cars,
or go to the Taco Bell and stand in the parking lot eating tacos.
So let's put this online. Let's see if anybody else is interested in just kind of chit-chatting about, game experiences, what we've been playing, what we've been hearing. If nothing else, we figured we'd just talk amongst ourselves, the two of us.
And that's what we did. We just chatted. But when and this is where I give you a shout out, Anthony Francis, for pushing me to evaluate my purpose. You put us through a tough little camp to talk about what are you trying to do? What are you trying to build, like a mission statement? And after that series, that I think was 2 weeks worth of conversation on that one topic, and you asked me to write it out. That was the hardest part, was actually writing it out. I walked away like, well, how do I do that? And I'll give you all props, because that's what got me into how about we just talk to people on the phone?
Yeah.
Because my whole goal is to build community, to give people a place to provide, right, to add to the conversation, not just be a spectator of a conversation.
Sure.
Yeah.
And that's where the phone calls came in, and it's been a little nutty. It's been fun. Yeah. We get the occasional prank call.
Yeah, we get weird stuff. Yeah.
We get some really angry gamers sometimes.
We've had a few.
Use some bad words.
Oh, I haven't heard that.
You missed that day.
What are they calling you in angry stuff?
Oh, we had
Steven call in. One of the first episodes, we had a caller named Steven call in and asked us why we were talking about playing board games online.
Digitally.
It was smack mid-COVID, so we had like a recurring board game online.
I heard about this.
Yeah, he was quite upset. He felt that we were tarnishing the hobby and we were doing a disservice by going online or going public and talking about and encouraging people to play games digitally or online.
But even the producers of the games, they want you to play.
Well, and that's the
online.
conversation we had with Steven. We were genuine,
Right.
and what was great was in the comments at the end. Comments started coming in on that
yeah.
one about, wow, you guys were so patient. You know, I can't believe you let him continue talking.
He was quite heated, yeah.
But we had a conversation that ended well, and that's what I wanted.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's awesome.
Because you got to
Engaging in
admit,
that.
it's easy to be a troll on typing.
Yeah.
It had, and I said it in the phone call. I said that took courage for Steven to call in and disagree with
Yeah.
us.
Right. Kudos.
Oh, I'm getting I'm getting quotes in the comments about what he said to me. He said, "Are you kicking me in the sack right now?" Is what Steven said to me
Yeah.
when I was talking to
That's
him.
what he kept saying,
and my
yeah.
reply was, "Yes, I am."
Yes, I am. I must be, yeah.
So thank you for pushing me to consider why I'm doing this, and that helped evolve what we're doing today, and kind of coming full circle with y'all joining the show to call in and say hi. Quick plug: what's coming up on your channel for folks to pay attention to? How can they find out more about what you're doing?
Okay, I was thinking of plugs. Well, we're doing Merchant's Cove.
Yeah, Merchant's Cove is next in the queue.
Yeah, look at the stack of
We
things.
just got in Deliverance.
Oh, that's
Oh,
Yeah.
I was just
Oh,
talking.
did you get Deliverance?
I want to play that one.
we
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
Okay, because Andrew told me I'm on the list. He'll send me one. I was one of his early supporters. I bought a T-shirt like 2 years ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it looks like a lot of fun.
yeah, I'm
That'll
just
be
looking
good.
over on our shelf that just came in.
We do have the On Mars Alien Invasion.
I want to play that one. Yeah.
So that will be coming as well in July.
And Sagani. I don't know if you ever heard of that one.
I haven't heard of that
That
one.
one as well.
Yeah, it's a lighter. It's an Uwe Rosenberg game. Much lighter. He's been doing a lot of lighter.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah.
Tile placement.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see how that goes.
And what's that space game called?
Space Race is
Space
on
Race.
its way to
Okay.
doing that.
Yep.
But I think just hit retail.
Yeah. So I mean, we kind of really just came back last week.
Sure.
Yeah.
We just kind of like reached out. We spent the first week really just reaching out to everybody we know and
Yeah, just letting them know, like,
let them know that we're back and we're you know, if there's anything they want us to review. Or,
and it's just been I mean, obviously, everybody's very excited. So publishers.
Have y'all been planning for any conventions? We'll end here on this one. Have y'all been planning for any conventions for this year now that things are opening up?
I think if anything, we'll do PAX.
Well, definitely, yeah. PAX is usually a definite, only because it's later in the year and it's also close. We're near Philly.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're like
Yeah.
20 minutes away.
Perfect.
So that's always a done deal if we can make it there.
Definitely not doing Gen Con this year.
Okay. No.
Yeah.
No?
We have a 10-month-old in tow now.
We
so
do,
It's a
yeah.
lot harder to do our 10-hour drive
Yeah.
out and back.
I guess,
Exactly.
Rob, I've always complained about my wife doesn't game with me, but I just realized that's sometimes a benefit.
It might
So
be-
when
might be a
convention
benefit,
time
yeah.
comes, we take the whole family, but my wife takes the
Yeah.
kids. I've got three kids, and we've got a new baby coming in July. So we take the whole family.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm having my first girl.
Oh, awesome.
I might have one that actually plays board games with me.
We'll see.
Nope.
Yes.
But my wife will take the kids and then let me go do the convention. But with the two of you,
Yeah.
you both want to be there.
That's sport right there. That's sport, yeah. Yeah.
She wouldn't go for watching kid while I'm at the convention. That was it.
Not gonna happen.
Not allowed.
You'll see Francis walk around like, oh, where's Anthony? Oh, he's back watching the kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably more realistic for what would happen.
Yeah.
On behalf of the whole show and the folks in the comments that are enjoying it because they're getting laughs and chuckles out of this conversation, we want to thank you for calling us.
thanks
Thank
for
you for
calling.
the
It's awesome.
support
Awesome to hear from
new
you.
content creators.
Yeah.
It's Anthony and Francis from How It Plays. So check them out, How It
Yeah.
Plays.
They changed it.
Yep. Also, Ant Lab's also Maverick, AKA.
Yeah.
But like, if you want to think of it this way, we don't. To keep it less confusing, at least even from our perspective, like AntLab Games still exists, right? It's an LLC now. It's a company.
Sure.
And that company has two channels.
Yeah.
There we go.
How It Plays, Keep Maverick. That's the easiest way to do it.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay.
That's definitely easier.
It's a conglomerate now. You guys are like Asmodee.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, just like.
Let me know if you're willing to make an offer on my channel. You know, I'd be glad to sell it to you.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah,
You know what?
consolidate. Yeah.
You never know. You never know.
If you create a network, let me know. I'd love to be a part of it. I'm not a part of the Dice Tower network, so I'm not locked into anything yet.
Nothing yet.
We don't want to give anything away yet.
We love tacos, so tacos is a great currency for us.
Yep.
No.
Sounds good.
You guys are doing great things. I really, really dig with your show and the format, the quality. It's right there, man.
Well, I appreciate it. It's your help. All this work that I've been doing, these lights. Francis sent me the link to them so I can get pretty colors back there. I mean, you guys helped. You guys helped. So we really appreciate you.
It's sharp. You guys keep at it, man. You guys are really doing a good job.
We'll do it.
Your phone back up for your other
Yeah,
folks.
you can take some more calls.
Have a good night, y'all.
Thank you.
Night.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Take care.
Okay, that was
Very cool.
That
Another one
was,
of those trippy moments.
That was
Yeah,
achievement
there you go.
unlocked.
Yeah. I think the first one we had was when Jamie Stegmeyer called in. We were kind of stunned for a minute, and this was right on par. That was right with hearing from Ant Lab Games. Yeah.
Yeah, that call was awesome. We got Edmund in the channel. Congrats on the coming kid. But 4 kids, that's crazy.
Oh yeah, I agree. I got 3, and that's enough. That's too
I had
much.
a lovely day with my 2 sick kiddos. After that, all my energy is gone. I get it. I've got 1 sick. I feel you, Edmund.
Yeah.
You know, the way I see it is the more kids I have, the more odds one of them will strike rich and take care of Poppy so he can quit his full-time job.
Yeah. Good luck with that. You let me know when that comes through for you.
That's like playing the lottery.
Yeah, it kind of is. It kind of is.
A little bit.
Oh, well, so I mean that was interesting. I've enjoyed hearing from them directly in the Zooms and such about how they do what they do, the backside of it. Right. They also provided how-tos on how to contact publishers and designers to get with them and to begin to receive. You saw that. I mean, they said, "Oh yeah, we just let them know last week we're coming back in," and boom, they got like a stack of games ready to review.
Cool.
Right. I mean, that's.
Yeah,
but that's their thing.
It's those connections, those networks, and
they talked about it. They said it really came from their time in conventions.
Yeah, I said that's
meeting them
important.
face to face.
Yep.
That's a big part of it.
Yep. We got to do a little bit more of that. We're going to be doing some more of that this year.
Phone lines open 813-618-7099. Please call in. Tell us what you got going on.
I think we basically, they do that, but we really primarily just focus on just playing the games.
Which is what I originally started this with Rob. I said, "Hey, let's play a game."
Yeah.
And then we'll
talk about
record a podcast talking about the game that we just played. That's it. That's where it started. And then
it's evolved a little bit. Yeah, it's definitely changed a little bit since then.
Yeah.
Oh, got another caller?
Beans and Dice Podcast. State your name. Where are you calling from?
This is Mitchell from Louisiana. What's up, guys?
Hey,
That's
Mitchell.
my buddy.
How are you?
Hey, I'm doing all right. What about y'all?
Doing pretty good.
We're swell.
Glad to hear it.
What you got going on?
Not too much. I had a game that my buddy taught me the other day. I'd never even heard of it before. Have you guys played Millennium Blade?
I have not played it. I definitely know of it, but I haven't played it yet.
But I have no idea what it is.
It's super meta. So it is like it's simulating collecting cards to play in a trading card game like Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh or something like that. And so the second round of each turn is actually like playing the game. But the first round is simulating you buying like different packs and stuff and trying to get a good deck and trading with other people, and it's in real time. And it's pretty unique. I'd never played anything like that before, and surprisingly, I liked it. I didn't think I was going to like it. It was kind of cool.
Yeah, I understand. So it's like it's a game about playing a game. You're basically
that's the definition of meta.
Yeah,
It's like straight up meta.
Yeah. And so you're building. You're basically playing a CCG. Or you're building a CCG, a collectible card game inside the game, right? Yeah.
It's a CCG simulator.
Are you the game disguised as the game playing the game?
Yeah. No, we can't go
Something like that.
Yeah. It's got levels. It's got layers like an onion.
Like an onion.
Donkey.
Exactly.
So what was your opinion on?
So like I said, there's 2 phases in that. First phase, whenever you're building your deck, and what's interesting is you're basically drafting cards from the board without seeing what they are. Just like you would at a store, you're buying, like a promo pack or something like that.
Okay.
And so the cards have different, I think it's actually the different expansions to the game. He had like everything, but the cards have it looks like a foil wrap kind of thing, like for the different promo decks. And so you can make some informed decisions about which ones you pick up. And it'll, some of them may be more of a certain type. Exactly. It looks like a foil. Yeah. But then if you don't like that, you can go to the aftermarket and sell them to the other players who might need that for their deck. And all that's done over the course of, I think it's a 20-minute timer, and some things happen at different thresholds. But it kind of almost like pendulum. It's like you're set to a timer, and 20 minutes sounds like a lot, but there's like a lot you have to do, because not only are you building your deck for whenever you actually go and play the card game, but you're also like trying to collect certain sets, that you're not going to bring to the game, but you want to have these sets. And so you're setting aside your sets for your points, and at the same time you're building your deck for the game itself. And so that phase was what was really interesting. And then once you get to the second phase, nothing bad about it, but it's just your usual, CCG, like you were saying.
So 20 minutes you spend almost like in Biblios, the first phase, and after that's the second phase where you're playing the game with the cards that you purchased. It sounds like you really enjoyed that first phase of it, the collecting part, and then it sounds like it dropped off for you in the second phase?
I wouldn't say it dropped off. It's just that part, in my opinion, there wasn't anything special about it. What shined for me was, okay, I'm playing a game about preparing to play a game. Kind of like, I don't know if you've played Role Player. That game is like, you are creating a D&D character. You're not doing anything with it. You're just creating a character. And for Carlos, for some reason, I like the meta aspect.
For Carlos, it was balancing a checkbook, I believe is the word.
Balancing my checkbook.
He did not like that very much. But
that was pretty amazing.
What Role Player are you talking about?
Role Player, yeah. He was saying it was just too much, trying to think about, I adjust this number to adjust that number to make this equal that, to make this do that. And I love the game, but he
I did say I do need to give it another try. That was one of the late night games we played, I believe 3 in the morning.
That was at Dice Tower.
Dice Tower.
Yeah.
It was as the night wears on.
Yeah, your mental capacity starts to release a little bit.
My 5-gallon bucket is full.
Yeah.
All right, so talk to me about the second phase of the game, right? Tell me about the combat. How generic was it? Is it just like, tell me how does it work?
Yeah, it's pretty generic. I mean, you have, I think if I remember correctly, you can play 7 cards, and you just play them left to right, and you may have a situation where I don't remember the exact term, but basically fighting another person, and your card is going to fight the most recent card they played, and it has a base value that will be added on to just a top deck card. And there are things that'll let you look at the top deck cards and things like that, but it's not super complex. A lot of it is trying to play them in a certain order. It'll say, when played, if you have X number of these kind of cards, do this. Or at the end, the tableau you've created throughout this round might give you these points and things like that. Kind of regular boilerplate stuff.
Okay, so nothing super special. You're playing to do damage to your opponent? Is that the gist
no,
of it?
you're really playing just for points. Whenever you are, quote unquote, fighting your opponent, it's just for points. Okay. Yeah, it's point tracker up at the top.
So even that's a abstracted combat, because when you said playing a game like an LCG or a CCG, I'm thinking like Magic the Gathering or any other CCG where you're attacking the other player. You're having like direct conflict. So I was hoping it would be build your deck and then like have a battle with the other player. But no, it's build your deck and then play out the combos to get more points.
Yeah, essentially, that's actually a really good way to sum it up.
Okay, that's good. And that's important.
So I like it. There are 3 rounds overall, and like whoever gets first, second, third, how many players in the round, it scales points, and throughout the game, each round will score more. And the points are pretty much just, like I said, you get those collections in the first round, and then you get points for winning each battle. And so it's not like there's a million different things you have to remember point-wise. It's just each phase you can score 1 time, basically. So it doesn't outstay its welcome. At first, I thought it was going to, just because there's so many cards, but a lot of them you look at, you realize, oh, this doesn't work. You sell them, you pick up another one. You go through a ton of cards really quickly.
Would you say this is one that's going to need more plays for you to feel it out? Are you ready to say you're done with it? Or are you ready to say it's a buy? What would you say?
I would play it again, but I don't think I would buy it, so it's not quite there. I definitely think that more plays will help you know what you're looking for more, once you understand all those combos and know the deck better.
Sure.
But it's a mid-tier for me, I guess. Enough for me to warrant mentioning right now, because I did enjoy it, but not enough for me to go and purchase it just yet. I'll definitely play it again if he brings it again.
Okay.
Nah, brother, thanks for sharing. That's one I've heard of, but have not had it explained, and it piqued my interest. Just looking at the back of the cards where they look like they're foil packs, the idea of grabbing a stack of those to figure out what to do with them, that piqued my interest.
Yeah. One other game I got taught to me this week. Now, it seems really, really weird. Whenever they told me the thematic, I was like, what the heck? But then I understood. Okay, it's called Vamp on a Batwalk. Have you heard of that one? It's new.
No.
So it's like vampires on a catwalk, but it's Batwalk because they're vampires.
Okay.
So the idea is that vampires are having a fashion show. I know that's weird as heck.
Stop
right?
there.
But
No. I'm done already.
Yeah, I'm out.
I'm out.
there's a reason. There's a reason. Okay, I was out too whenever they told me that.
Hey, we're talking
All
about.
right.
Let me explain.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, I thought the exact same thing whenever they said that until they explained the core mechanic of it. So the idea is vampires can't see themselves in the mirror, right? So they have to have other people check them out.
Carlos
Okay.
is going to make it through this
I
one.
can't keep a straight face.
Okay, maybe I should not have explained that until I explained the cool mechanic of it, all right? So,
What am I saying?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Let me finish. So, first of all, the box is used as a catwalk, which is kind of cool. I don't know if you guys are seeing that on BGG.
Yeah.
But the idea is that it's a card game, but you can't see your cards. Everybody else can. And so you're playing things based on what you see in other people's hands and based on what they're playing.
I'm done.
Okay, that mechanism is a great mechanism.
It sounds like it sounds
we're
like
not
an
laughing at
interesting
that mechanism because Rob's flipping
we
through
got
the photos
on BGG,
and
some
the
of these photos
BGG
are-
photos are amazing because they're taking the standees and like taking these portrait style pictures. They look like they're models. It's just a bit much. But no, that mechanic is a great mechanic. You find that mechanic in 13 Clues.
Okay, yeah.
That's one of the games where you play
I've not
cards
played that.
Deduction game,
facing the wrong way. Hanabi.
Hanabi, yeah.
That's another game where you play with your cards facing the other way that you don't know what you have.
Yeah.
But everybody else knows. All right, so we got that part. So you're playing cards because you're, and I like how it ties with the theme. Right, they're tying a mechanism to the theme.
Yeah.
That was part of your last video. You talked to the designer, one of the designers of After the Empire,
yeah.
and he talked about how he loves finding ways to make mechanics match a theme, and that actually matches. So keep going.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the game. It's very simple, but you guys are saying there's a couple other games like that. I might need to check those out since I like the mechanic and not the theme as much.
Yeah, that sounds like it. We've played Hanabi. Hanabi's a pretty light card game. It's you're just cooperative card game. Yeah, you're playing with all your cards facing everybody else. You're only allowed to say certain things, but you're trying to get people to play cards onto stacks in certain orders. I think ascending orders from lowest to highest, and you're only allowed to give minimal clues every time you go around the table. So that's it's a cooperative card game. And then what was the other one you mentioned?
13 Clues.
13 Clues.
It's like
That's right.
like a clue style deduction game where you're gonna have to figure out what weapon, what location, and what I think it was motive, I believe it was.
I'll pull it up here. I can't remember.
That has to do with a murder, but you can't see your own cards because they're facing out. You can only see the other cards that other people have played, and you're trying to deduce what cards are in front of you.
Gotcha. Yeah, it seems kind of similar. Yeah.
Yep.
So I'll definitely check those out
But it sounds like
the theme
you
is a lot less weird.
enjoyed Vamps on a Batwalk sufficient enough to bring it up to us.
Yeah, must have been a good
Yeah,
experience.
so I will admit, that is one I might buy. But whenever they took the box out, I was like, what the heck is this? And then we played it, and it was a lot of fun.
Cool.
So don't judge a book by its cover, I guess, is
Absolutely.
the lesson there.
I appreciate the call, brother. That's a great call. I will see you next week, right? You're coming to Florida for summer vacation from Louisiana,
Yes, indeed,
and you will be a guest host right here in Studio Bean.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We'll be sitting in Studio Bean right there next to William next week as we do this show. So
I'm sorry.
for you folks...
I thought I was going to take Rob's spot, and he was just going to not be there.
I could do that.
Right?
I could have a night
he's-
off.
he's
yeah.
my,
Take a night off, yeah.
He's my heterosexual life partner.
Yeah, I'm the dice to the beans. So
He's the rice to my bean, white,
yeah,
flavorless.
yeah. Oh,
There you go. Oh, gosh.
there.
Flavorless. Wow.
No,
He does not like
I'm
theme
done.
games.
Yeah, so
No themes for him.
Have a good night, Mitchell. I appreciate you, man.
thanks for calling.
Yeah. All right, later.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Good night. Sure thing.
Oh, we got Arby telling us we got to cut that off. We cross lines.
The beans and dice. My son's here, kind of spectating from the sidelines tonight. So
he's letting us know when we cross
gonna
lines.
pile on Dad. Yeah.
I'm not gonna get that picture out of my head.
The vamps on the catwalk,
No.
on a bat walk.
No.
No, that was great, man. I had a good laugh at that.
That was yeah. I got a good little chuckle out of that. That was good. But hey, we liked it, so it was a decent game. It had an 8.0 rating.
Really?
Not a whole lot of ratings, but it was an 8.0 on the BGG. So
Is it one of those games that sounds like it's hard to get hold of?
he said it was new. I think I hadn't heard of it. I think it must be. I can go back to it here on the BGG. And
I just love the photography on the BGG.
It looks like a Vogue magazine.
Yes, it looked like a Vogue style magazine cover.
Let's see, Vamp on the Bat Walk. I'm waiting for it to load.
Wayne
here.
Kruger says that Mitchell should bring the game so that we can play it live.
Absolutely. It's got an 8.0.
All right, Mitchell, I know you're still watching, so bring Vamp's
age 8 and up.
Vamp on a Bat Walk.
Vamp on a Bat Walk. It's what year was the release here? I'm not seeing it, but I think it was a recent release when I pulled it up originally. It was 2020 or 2021, so yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, phone lines open, 813-618-7099.
All right, Will and I talked a little bit about what we played, so how about you, Carlos? What have you been up to?
Blood Bowl!
Oh, Blood Bowl.
Yeah, hit that. No.
All right, go ahead.
So
Have your
Saturday
Blood Bowl
was
moment.
our game day. Second Saturday game day. Rob, thank you. You held it down.
Yeah.
He ran it. Oh, we got a call coming in. Beans and Dice Podcast. Beans and Dice Podcast. State your name. Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Aaron calling from Columbus.
Oh,
Hey, Aaron.
Aaron from Columbus.
How are you?
How's it going, guys?
Pretty good.
We're having altogether too much fun today.
Yeah, too much chuckling tonight. Yeah, too much laughing. But
So keep it going, brother. What do you got going on? What's your topic?
I caught the last 15 minutes. Seems like you guys are having a great time.
Yeah, the funny
So,
parts. Yeah.
I just wanted to call. Yeah, I wanted to call and let you guys know we're back at it. We've had two of the last 3 Wednesdays game night back at the local store.
Great to hear.
So it's been great. Yeah, it's just really nice to get back together with people hadn't really seen and play some games. So yeah, I know we're cutting it close to 10, but
Oh no, we're good.
I think I got to play Vindication for the first time in a couple of years.
I like
had
that.
gotten it to the table. Yeah, I had gotten it to the table once before and was just like I played it once, so you never quite know. But I was like just enthralled with it and got it to the table again, and I really think it is one of my top games.
Well, Aaron, you know what, Aaron? Because Robert failed me.
Failed you?
Failed me.
Oh,
failed me, brother.
No.
What-
Michael backed me up on that, but go ahead. I know what you're going to ask.
Because
I know
Michael
what you're gonna ask.
subsequently failed me as well. When I asked, what are you doing in Vindication? And the answer I get is, well, you take these cubes and you move them into these cubes and you convert them into these cubes and you end up with these cubes. Aaron, let me ask you. You're talking to a themey guy. What is Vindication about?
Good luck.
Well, I would say, Vic, you are thrown overboard because you're a wretched scumbag, and your crewmates kicked you off the ship, and you're on an island trying to rediscover yourself. There's a lot of back and forth. People say vindication maybe isn't the best word, maybe more redemption or something.
Well.
But you're trying to establish yourself as a good and honorable person now. So that's the idea behind it, I guess. And you know what? It's a fine line. There's theme there, but I'll be honest. Sometimes you got to look for it. You got to like really pull it out.
Yeah,
because there are definitely It is a cube management sort of. It's a Euro game. It is.
Tell the truth.
It's a Euro game.
It's my thing.
Break it down to him.
It's my jam.
I'm going to give you the achievement because that was probably the best answer I've gotten to date. I'm a scumbag trying to redeem themselves. I've been thrown off overboard from a boat. That's how bad I am.
Yeah.
And I'm doing things to redeem my soul.
Sure.
Which is pushing cubes to get other cubes to push more cubes.
That's how I do it. That seems to be how I
No,
redeem cubes.
that's how you redeem yourself.
Right. I push cubes to redeem myself. But now at least I know what I'm doing. Thank you, Aaron. Tell us what you liked about it or anything you didn't like.
Well, I think the first thing I am fascinated, and I continue to think about it after each play.
Yeah.
With this resource economy in the game, this kind of overlapping. It's kind of two parts of it that kind of tie together. But the overlapping of these three basic resources, I'm not going to remember their names, but it's like wisdom, courage, and I'm going to.
I don't recall.
Blue cube, yellow cube, brown.
Exactly.
cube.
That's the way I look at it. Yeah, that's me.
That's how he says it.
All right, carry on.
But you have those three basic ones, and then at the points of like the intersection of those three, you then have three what they call heroic attributes, which attributes are a resource in this game. And so it's like you put courage and wisdom together, and that becomes strength.
Right.
Or maybe it's strength and wisdom, and that becomes courage, something along those lines. And so you've got these resources that are easier to manipulate, but there are moments in the game where you need these heroic resources to really do what you want to do.
Yep.
And so that resource economy is so cool.
Oh, yeah.
But on top of that, at the very beginning on your player board, you have this. I'm not gonna remember the names. I think it's potential, influence, and conviction. But there's kind of three levels, and so you're moving this potential resource that then gets put out onto the board and onto the map into your influence sphere. And then there are moments where you need that influence to be converted to conviction. And it's the way that all of that comes together that is just, it's just so good for me. It's just really cool.
You're taking those actions. Yep. It's really just, it is pushing cubes around, but it's the way you're pushing them around, the way you're manipulating them, the way you're combining them to make other resources, the way you're going to locations on the board because you're moving around a board and you've got, it's not a worker placement, but it's moving around to get to locations that you can block each other. You can take control of locations where if somebody comes there and does an action, they've got to give you something for it or you get something out of it. It's
Monopoly?
Been a little while since I've played, but something like that.
Oh, I landed on your boardwalk.
Yeah, it's been a little while since I played it, but it was a great game. And like you say, it's one of those games when you're done, you're going to spend a couple of days thinking about, man, if I would have done that, or if I was a little more efficient in doing that, I could have pulled out a whole bunch more points. And yeah, it's one that sticks with you for a while. I agree.
All right, Rob, you're going to have to teach me that one.
Yeah, well, it's Michael Lorenzo in our group. That's one of his favorite games. He was an early adopter on that. I believe he got in. I believe it was a Kickstarter. He got in the Kickstarter when it came out, and he was talking it up to everybody. And he finally got it out at one of our game days.
Yeah, one of the last ones before
before the COVID hit. Yeah, and we got a chance to play that. It was good, actually a good bit before. I would say it was at least a year before that.
Oh, was
that
it?
I played it. Yeah, it's been a couple of years since I played now, but yeah, it was really good. And it's one that we keep talking about. We got to get to the table again because I think it's in probably one of his top 10 all-time games. So yeah, I mean, we'd be happy to play it with you. I'm sure Michael would love to teach it again.
I'm in. Now that I know how the theme is, thank you, Aaron, from Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah, absolutely.
It only took three Eurogamers to finally explain it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's theme there, and there's opportunity to pull it out, but really, turn to turn, you're gonna get caught up in just the Euro.
And sometimes I just revel in that. Sometimes I will just wrap up in it and enjoy it. I mean, like Wonderful World.
It's a Wonderful World, yeah.
Right? That's one of those, I'm going to convert cubes, Century, both Gollum Edition and the regular one. I'm just going to enjoy moving cubes around. And I can enjoy that. Well, thanks for sharing. What else you got?
What else you been playing?
We got a couple other games to the table. We played New York. Tonight was a lighter night. I just picked up Trekking the World.
It's a good one. It's right here on my shelf.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's kind of like I would say that Ticket to Ride kind of weight, but it's got a little bit more variety turn to turn. So like anyone who's kind of getting into the hobby, I think that's a perfect game to kind of show them some options. We played New York Slice.
That's a good one.
That's another good one. Another light one.
We played a little bit of The Crew tonight.
Crew's a great game.
William was talking. He just pointed it out today. Like, God, we never finished The Crew.
Yeah, that's a great game.
We're always teaching somebody new, so we start from the beginning again.
We usually get to like level 6 or 7 or 8 every time, and then it's we're an hour and a half in, and we put it away. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep. We talk about that.
Y'all have good taste in Columbus, Ohio. You've got good taste.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. We've got some. I'm looking forward to some future calls. We've got a board game day planned for not this Saturday, but next Saturday. And then we're trying to get a little bit. There's just a handful of us that have gotten so many games over the last year and a half plus that we just need to get them played. So we're actually going to try and do our own little board gaming con.
Right.
1 week in July. Some people taking a Friday off and just go Friday, Saturday, half day Sunday.
Awesome.
We've talked about that.
Just game.
Just like taking a week off and
I would do that.
yeah.
And we're
in a heartbeat.
We're kind of lucky here that we have a couple of fairly large conventions. Usually, we got Dice Tower usually over in Orlando every year.
Escape
Dice Tower
WinterCon
East
now.
Escape WinterCon is a big one here in the Tampa area. Although the people are from Tampa, but they do it in Orlando every year. So we're hoping maybe one year they'll
We
move
were
it.
able to drive up to Atlanta to do the
Dragon Con.
Dragon Con. We've done Atlanta as well. Cool Mini or Not
Simon, yep.
Expo.
Mm-hmm.
So although you have one of the main big ones near you,
Yeah.
we feel like we got a lot of smaller ones that we can go to.
For now.
Yeah. Well,
Thank you for
we're
calling.
just off a little bit. Absolutely. I'll let you guys go. I know it's past 10, but
Oh, you're good.
Yeah, I keep doing what you're doing. I love this
Diego
show, so.
and Wayne are both giving you props on the Trekking the World.
Yeah.
They both.
Yeah. It's a fun little game. It's not going to overstay its welcome.
Right.
It's probably not going to be something you want to play all the time as more of a hobby gamer, but
Yeah, it's a good light game.
30 to 45 minutes, and you have a good time trying to be efficient.
Yeah,
So,
you're going around the world, going to different parks around the world. You're collecting souvenirs, different types of souvenirs. So you're collecting sets of cards to be able to take tours. It's not just pushing cubes. Appreciate you, Aaron.
Thanks for calling.
Have a good night, man.
Yeah,
Take care.
absolutely.
Don't be a stranger.
You too. Bye.
So Wayne says 21 years of Dragon Con.
Wow.
That's impressive. I've been 3 years, but 21's got me blown away. Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
It was exhausting, though.
Yeah.
Because unlike any convention I've ever gone to, Dragon Con was multiple hotels.
Oh yeah.
Right? So you're like leaving a hotel
They've got
to
the-
go walk blocks
They got
to
the
a different
flyovers
hotel.
to some of the hotels connected up in the air, and you can kind of walk across the flyover bridge, the walking bridge from one to another. But there are a few that are disconnected, so you got to walk a block down the road. But
So you're bound to go there and miss something.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
downtown, and it's everything though. It's more than board games. Definitely, it's their big thing is their costume contest, cosplay.
Oh, yeah.
they have it's one of the biggest in the world every year. They have people fly in from
They
Japan
even do a full-on
and Europe,
parade?
and they got a parade one day. They one morning I think it's usually Sunday morning. They shut down. It's like 6 blocks of downtown Atlanta,
Oh,
and
got another one.
They parade people through. Yeah.
Beans and Dice podcast. State your name. Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Zeno.
Hi, I was waiting for that phone call.
There he is.
What's up, guys? I just got in, so I just turned on the channel.
Oh, well, nice to have you on. Is this your first time being on?
No.
Second time?
No, second or third,
Okay.
something like that.
Okay.
But
We got a couple minutes.
I did see Zeno posted up. He played Tapestry this week for the first time.
Yeah, I saw
so
that,
I asked him, hey, why don't you give us a call? Tell us what you thought. What'd you think?
Well, I tell you, obviously, up here, me and my son and everyone, we usually do a lot of war games. This game is really fun.
Yeah, you liking it?
It is options. It will never be the same game twice.
Right.
I mean, put it this way: it was so much fun that I bought the expansion the next day. I couldn't let it go.
When he jumps in, he jumps all the way in.
I try not
is
to,
just,
but
it's
look
more
at
of what
unmatched
the
here,
base.
here.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
expansion is more to the base. So if you like the base, buy the expansion.
Yeah, it's more more of the same thing. Just gives you more to play with. Yep.
No,
Right.
dude, that's
so
great.
Me, Ed, and Kai played it, and what's so neat about the game is, like, when you first start off, you get to pick your civilization. Everyone draws 2. There's 16 different ones, and keep one. And then you have in each era, you get a tapestry card that changes your civilization's goals and stuff.
Right.
And the whole time, I mean, I'm not a huge Euro player. We all know that.
Right.
But it's enough. There's a little bit of board conquest, and there's a little bit of management going on. Resource management. And the dice, you have like the science dice that can advance you on the board, or you get victory point dice and combat dice. But it's not like a game where you're like going army versus army. You're just doing a little bit of territory, like a civilization game.
Right.
But it only takes, I mean, it's really a lot simpler than it looks, because I watched a lot of them online on how to do it. And the rule book, once you dump into it, it's pretty quick.
You
It
call
really
that a
is.
rule book?
Yeah, it was what?
Not really.
It's like a rule sheet.
4 pages or something. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like a big
more
sheet of
like
paper
4
folded.
sheets. Yeah, no doubt. But I mean, it's once you get into it, it's really cool.
But that's great.
It
I mean,
really is. I
think
enjoy
that's where a lot of the love for Tapestry has come from. And if you've ever watched the channel, y'all will know we haven't given Tapestry a lot of love on this channel.
No, yeah.
Anyone that has played it here and talked about it has really walked away with that was okay.
Yeah, it was okay.
So I was really looking forward to getting your thoughts on it, because knowing your style of gaming, miniature war gaming, historical war gaming, right, what your thoughts were going to be. And I can't say that, I have to say I'm really surprised to have heard you describe it the way you did, knowing the group you play with. That's a group of like people who just fight each other all day. What did y'all think of like the limitation of fighting, right? Being able to only take over 2 outposts.
Well, the thing is because there are always so many options. You go to each track, like your science track or your technology track. To be honest, it kind of reminded me a little bit of like playing Eclipse, just a little bit the way the tracks work and stuff.
A little bit, yeah.
But because like when you build buildings, you take it off and you get the resources for them. Like in Eclipse, you used to take them out, move the cubes,
right,
and put them on a planet, and then the more resources and stuff. And so whenever you take the buildings off and to build your capital city, you end up getting more technology. And then on the technology cards, you sit there. You have to have someone or your neighbor has to have that current tech to be able to do this next tech. But like I said, like when I like miniature games or like when I play TI, it's never the same game. And that's my biggest attraction to this. It's always changing. I love that about this game because, I mean, it would be very difficult to play the same game twice.
Okay.
What did you think of the sideboard?
I was going to say, that was exactly what I was going to ask. The thing we liked the least, I think, was the little sideboard that when you're taking those buildings and you're trying to play that little side puzzle there where you're trying to fit them on and decide, am I going for this advantage or that advantage? What did you think about that?
Oh, again, I like that. Again, it makes it a different game each time. That's what I like.
Okay.
I like that. It's like, okay, I got this building this time. Or, okay, so I'm building in the forest versus building here, so I can't, put as much there. It's just a little extra thing to do.
It's a game and a game and a game.
And it's just,
exactly.
That's exactly what it is.
Okay, and that's
right.
100%. I felt like I just spent too much time on that. I
think that's your brain
for this little part of the game. I felt like I was spending 50% of my time trying to do this little puzzle about figuring out, all right, do I take another building because I need to try to fit it on here, or
Well, once we've only played it once, and once I figured out, because I thought that the rows of the columns would be more. Right. They're only worth like one victory point.
Right.
So there's only so much I'm going to concentrate on.
Sure.
I mean, the best part is to fill up a little section so you get a free resource on it.
Sure. Yeah.
But to be honest with you, I mean, once I figured out it's not as important
That's a dang good
as it
point.
could be.
Yeah, don't even give it a lot of your energy.
Well, I know you did that in a few games.
Yeah.
You said, I'm not even going to worry about that little board over there. I'm just going to, if I get one, I'll put it on there, but I'm not even going to worry about that part of it. But it feels like you're leaving something behind.
Well, my whole concentration, like I was doing the tech track, is I wanted to make it to the end to get the 10 points.
Right.
And once, again, like I said, this is the first time I played it. Once I figured out that each resource was basically the key to one of the techs, it worked out better. Unfortunately, my first game was the Futurist. That's who I got, and what happens to them is they already start on tier 2 technology and double resources. So I missed all that opportunity to get cars and stuff,
buildings,
and the buildings and everything in tier 1. So it was kind of a rough course for me being my first game. But after watching them, Ed and Kai play too, I picked it up really quick. And like I said, there's not a whole lot of Euro games I like. This one I like a lot.
That's
I really
good.
do.
I look at it like a big roll and write. It's like a big roll and write game, and it changed the way I see that game. Most importantly, who won? Who won?
Ed won. He won at the very end. Yeah. So I came in second. He had like 100 and. Well, Ed's really
his facial hair grows longer every time he wins.
Wow.
That beard thing and the mustache thing.
Well, unfortunately, we figured out as we were going towards the end, we did one of the rules wrong. How we were doing points, because on your civilization board itself, there's a lot more on there. Like we didn't realize in the middle of the game, every time you pull a building off, you're actually getting a level up in tech. You pull the red ones off, and all of a sudden you got racing, then you got arcades, and I'm like, what does all that stand for? Because I was just looking at the points and getting the resources, but then once I realized the technology was, I can't do that unless somebody's got an arcade. that's next to me. You know, I didn't realize that's part of it. So the thing is, that's what I like. There's a lot of little things that make a big game, and I enjoy that a lot. That's again, like I like TI because it's a lot of little things that can affect the whole large outcome. Same with Eclipse. Same with anything like that. I like that a lot.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, man.
And one other quick thing just to hit on is, I don't know, again, how many people did you play with? 3?
It was just 3 of us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because there's the part of the game, I think the first time we played, I was the max player count. I was at 5 or 6, however many plays.
Wow. Yes. Yeah, I think it's 6, yeah.
And we had one of the players that was done kind of on purpose. Barry had to leave early, and so he was rushing his end game. This is a game, just so everybody knows, that you can finish at different times, and if you get done before everybody else, then you kind of sit and you wait. And Barry had to run, so he was kind of pushing his towards the end game.
He got his final tapestry, ended his round.
Yeah, but he left like an hour before all the rest of us were done.
Yeah.
So
he was leading
because you can get tapestries that are affected by other players. Like Ed had one that if I moved up on the combat chart, all of a sudden he got it too.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can't. It's one of those games where you definitely don't sit. You're doing something all the time. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
And I like that because I mean, like. I know how you're not a great big fan of Forbidden Stars because you sat there for half an hour, but
yeah. But I think it was Carlos as well. Carlos is.
I think you and I, Robert and I, played a game on the side. I think while waiting for my next turn.
Yeah.
Well, that's just because we blocked you, and you know we had the advantage of playing. We knew what we were doing.
Yeah.
And then you just got killed. Yeah, you got killed that way, and But anyway. And then as far as Will go, we love the Shogun game. I've been looking for copies.
Oh, yeah.
He's been a great teacher at it and all. We're like, okay, we got to get one. All right, no problem.
I did check for you. I did check for you in Kickstarter. The late pledge is still open for that.
Oh, wow.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Okay.
And BGG right now has the houses on sale. You can buy that. Oh no, this guy's got a farm of. Zeno has like a farm of 3D printers. You can make his own.
You can
houses.
make your own. But and I know Will said that.
Yeah, I can build. Yeah, don't worry about it, guys. We're good.
Will has enjoyed teaching that, but he did say before tonight that I think he's taught it like the last 3 times he's played it. He's like, I'm done teaching. Next time I want to play with people who have played and know how to play. But
because I want to play with.
It's hilarious because. Yeah, the 2 times I've played it, because I like war games, I started doing that to the other players. I would plan for them to attack me and just trap them and do it all over. Everyone's just like, ooh.
It was one of those games where, like, I even said it. Zeno's going to win. I saw it already before it was over. I was like, he's going to win, and I'm not going to win, but I know exactly what's going to happen to Raphael was playing.
Yeah.
I said, I looked at Zeno, I looked at Raphael, I was like, I'm going to make you commit all your resources to that one area. He goes, no, you're not. And what did he do, Zeno? He committed everything to that one area, and he ended up.
What got them was his girlfriend was sitting next to Kai, and Kai started being bloodthirsty. Going, he started attacking us.
Typical Kai.
She's like, "Why is he attacking me? Do you see who he is?
Yeah,
he's a good kid. He's a good kid.
Yeah.
It's just his dad's a jerk.
His dad's.
Oh yeah, whatever.
Brought him up that way.
Y'all haven't heard him play Modern Warfare. No, Will's heard him play Modern Warfare, but yeah. He's bad.
He's bad.
Hey, Zeno, man. Thanks for calling in and sharing your thoughts on Tapestry and this weekend's game night. I appreciate you calling, man.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Zeno.
All right, bro. I'll catch y'all later.
Take care. Bye-bye.
That was fun.
All right.
Yeah.
That was another fun night.
Yeah.
Are we at the end of
10:15? Yeah, I think
we're at 10:15. I'm going to go ahead and
turn off the phone line.
Yeah, if somebody jumps in before I hit that button, then
get 30 seconds, 10 seconds, 5 seconds.
My fingers are slow.
Yeah,
there it is. All right, phone lines are off.
They're sausage fingers, man.
Wow,
Jimmy Dean sausage fingers.
Another successful night. I mean, man, y'all are killing it with the phone calls. You're
I think
killing it on the
each
chat.
week so far we have beat the number of viewers every week. Like
awesome.
That's a good feeling.
Let's keep it going. Yeah, it's awesome.
And tonight, Francis and Anthony calling in from Ant Lab Incorporated.
Really cool. Yeah.
And Sharon. I mean, it's just fun.
It makes it easy to do when people are calling in, interacting, giving us topics. It makes it.
It's not fair. Like I feel like this is not fair. Like I'm thinking to all the people who've made it rich on like talk radio as call-in shows.
That's not us,
right? Well, it'll never be us because we're still a very niche market. But
but I honestly don't think I want that. I don't want that though.
What they do. Their viewers or their listeners are the ones that give them the content. They call in and just, Y'all make this easy, so thank you. Each and every one of you on the stream,
Like on the chat.
on the stream chatting,
the
or
chat was
on
funny.
the phone calling. Yeah, the chat was
chat
funny
was really
today.
Good interaction. Yeah.
From Sweden.
Yeah, that's awesome. Keep it going. International.
We're international,
Yeah.
so thank you. We will see you all next week. We're going to finish our game of After the Empire.
2 rounds left.
We got 2 rounds left. We're currently at Carlos is leading 23 to Williams 19 to Rob's 16. And we'll see if I can maintain that lead. This is a awesome game sent to us by Board Game Battles.
Yep.
Mitchell, who does Board Game Battles on YouTube, he sent us a copy of this because he's playing it at home. And Mitchell and I, now I'll end up with, I guess, something I played this week. Mitchell and I have played this game via Zoom. I set up the board just like this. I set up the top view, and he just, whenever I drew a card, he would mirror what I'm doing on his board, and we played in like an hour and a half.
Not bad.
A whole game, just the two of us. It was a 44 to Mitchell, 41 to me.
Yeah.
Very tight game.
Very close.
With very different strategies.
Cool. So it can be done.
Yeah, he says, not good to be leading in that game. I know, Mitchell, I tried to spend more money, but then these guys spent more than I did.
Jerks.
They're keeping me in the front. This is no bueno. So on that note, I want to thank you for watching the Beans and Dice podcast. I'm Carlos.
I'm Rob.
I'm William.
And check out the podcast. Pull up if you can't watch live, we do have this as an audio version. What I try to do the night after is turn it into audio and post it up on the iPods, iTunes,
yeah.
iHeartRadio,
On every
all
platform.
those platforms you can find on. Just search for Beans and Dice podcast on those platforms, and you can get the audio version of this.
Yep.
So thank you for watching. Hit a like on the way out.
We're podcast about
how we game. Good night, everybody.
Good night.